Good day, I hope you're doing well. Today we will be going over PROG 7313's portfolio of evidence. This application, Age Finance, is a mobile application that Emmanuel, Adrian and I have built, and Pod 3 does not differentiate much from Pod 2. The largest difference comes in with incorporating Firebase as our online database. So most of the information gets stored on the online database instead of in memory or on the local device as it was in part 2. So this was screen recorded on my mobile Android device as specified in the portfolio of evidence brief. So I'll be doing basically a voiceover of the application. As I said, not much has changed, so I'll just be doing a brief voiceover. Thereafter, I'll just show you the Firebase implementation as well as a GitHub repository to show that all tests have passed and we have still followed good practice. Right, with that being said, let's continue. As you can see, we are on the home screen with the account created successfully message. Reason I started from here is because most screen recording software blacks out the screen with login and registration details. Nothing I can do about that. So let's continue. After a fresh account has been made, there is basically no data. I'm just going to take you through all the pages. We do have seeded categories, just so that the user doesn't stumble upon empty pages and has no idea on what to do. As I said, not much has changed. So first thing the user is going to do is set a minimum to save for goals for the month and a maximum amount that should be spent on expenses. And there we go. Our initial values are in. Those are the caps for the month that the user has set for themselves. Just showing that the user can edit the seeded values and goals and so on. I'm just skipping ahead a bit, sorry. And user can obviously create their own goals as well and set the target amount. They can also choose the icon they would like to use. And we move over to completed. Nothing has changed there. With the add funds screen, very simple. The user can choose which category they can add the funds to. Expenses also have seeded categories here, which do not have a monthly budget allocated to them. That is done on purpose so that the user has to set it themselves, or they can delete categories like that. And obviously, yeah, they can edit the amounts and names, and they can add their own expense categories. Okay, new graph below the filter period that has been added, and you'll see that in action in a bit. Our demo screen or sandbox screen is our gamification element. We'll also get to that now. So the whole point of this is the user can enter any amount of money in their currency and they can essentially play around with their money, see what they are able to buy, what they're able to save for if they have that amount of money. As you can see, the percentages have updated, and the whole point of this is the user can dynamically change the amount that he wants to use. As you can see now, it's 50% of the allocated budget that the laptop has taken. We'll add in an expense. And there we go. And once again, you can see the percentages. You can switch screens and then you will see that it does persist until we click reset and it's cleared. Now we will actually start to add the funds to the different categories, firstly in goals or savings. And you'll be able to see that the graph below the filter date over here does in fact update. This was a requirement for part 3. So each category has one of these bars, and essentially it just shows how much so far has this category contributed to the total budget for goals. Expenses also has a similar graph, which I will also show in a bit. So we're just adding more funds, and something to note here, you will see that, let me just go a bit back for you. Okay, we're just adding more funds, and then you'll see that here we have 3 different colors around the borders. It's just a small indication to show how much each transaction towards that category weighs in terms of a percentage. Our goals have updated, as you can see, our log transactions over halfway with the savings for the month. Now it's time to start adding our transactions to expense categories. So we'll just add the funds. Next up, entertainment. And we will also upload a receipt. In this case, it's just going to be my thumb, but you get the point. Does in fact work. And we're very happy with that photo. Okay, as you can see, expenses also has the same graph. And same for entertainment. Give it a second, there we go. Okay. Other than that, not much has changed, as you can see. There's not much changes. We're just going to be adding funds to the different categories right now. And you'll see how we're able to dynamically update. There's one more thing I wanted to show. Back to expenses over here, just viewing the different categories and the different reports per category. There it is. So when we click report on the bottom left of the expense screen, now we pull up a full report of each category and each transaction within those categories. We can see the total amount spent of the monthly target for expenses in this graph as well. And obviously you also have the ability to filter by date. But for the purposes of this video, all the transactions took place on the same day, so that is not going to be helpful today. Okay, just a quick section on Firebase. Just to show we have our application H Finance over here. And if we go to Firestore, we're able to see our physical tables and so on that has been saved onto the database. Got our users. At the moment, we've only got 3 users. This is the one that was used in the video. They've got their monthly spend limits here as well. And we can see for the month of May that these were the limits that I had entered. And we also have our goals and categories, the ones that they have entered, seeded ones, and so on. So just to show that the data does in fact get saved onto here. Okay, great. And then just a quick display of our repository. We have updated the README file as well. Shows everything that is needed and required by the rubric and more. And just to show our commit trail as well. Please feel free to look at the repository and classes and so on. References and attribution has been applied where applicable. And yeah, do hope you enjoyed the video. And a big thanks to my team, Emmanuel, Adrian, for contributing to this project.